Hello, 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 my beautiful souls, and welcome to the month of June. It feels so good to be here today, and I'm so excited. I have been off of camera for a while because I was finishing up my bachelor's in behavioral health, and I really wanted to hone in and focus on the last couple months of that. But we are back, and we are rolling the camera, and we are coming with us with a June reading. So in this reading, I am so excited to share with you guys because yesterday as I was meditating, which was June 1st, I actually saw a dragon and I experienced the dragon's fire in my meditation, and it showed me so much about cord cutting, destroying contracts, as well as healing ancestral lines and patterns. So that's telling me that we could see a lot of that in this month of June. So as always, take what resonates, leave what does not, okay? Okay, so hi, I am Bree. I can officially say that I have a bachelor's in behavioral health science, as well as your shaman practitioner, your Reiki practitioner, and a psychic medium. I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's get into our reading. Oh, how I have missed this so much. I finished my bachelor's in behavioral health because I wanted to go into a deeper understanding of the different kind of disorders. So as far as trauma goes, as far as depression and anxiety, I wanted to go in deeper, not just from a spiritual standpoint, because I understood anxiety and depression from a spiritual standpoint. I knew where it came, but I wanted to see truly how it affects our mind, our body, everything. Because we don't even realize the extent that different types of disorders and diseases really truly affect our bodies and our souls. So it was really fun to finish that. However, I have missed doing these videos. I've missed doing these readings as well. I've missed just having that moment of connection that doesn't have to do so much with the logical and just connecting with the spiritual. So I did miss that. Of course, I always meditated and I always did my woo-woo stuff, right? I even put a pause on finishing my shaman master's as I worked for my bachelor's. It's been something that I wanted to finish since 2019. 2016 is when I started it. So, but I thought about it in 2019 about how I should have finished it. But here we are today. All right. So anywho, let's get into our reading. If you probably haven't noticed already, the month of June is coming with some fire energy. All right. And we start off with that Gemini energy, which I have learned to love the Gemini, all right? There used to be a time where I didn't particularly like the Gemini, and I've actually come to a point where I love that Gemini energy because that twin duality has different parts that you can take benefit from, can learn from, can really understand. So the twin energies truly has a lot. And funny story, I'm actually reading the Zodiac Academy, and the twins are Gemini twins. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, that book, if you're looking for something that's not like a learning book, a self-help book, a spiritual book, like just a book, I highly recommend that. It's amazing because a lot of what that book goes into is kind of what I see as well. So if you're wanting to understand like how I see the different elements or even how the zodiac signs might work, I don't know. I'm only on the second book, so I don't know how well it goes into those details, but so far I'm liking it. All right. So, however, as I said, yesterday when I was meditating, I saw the dragon. So I was met with the dragon in my meditation, and I heard the dragon's fire. And I have worked a lot with the dragon fire breath. I have worked many times with dragon energy as well as that fire energy to help my clients destroy contracts. But here's where I'm going to stop you for just a second, because that fire has the potential to just destroy. It truly does. It has the potential to take away those contracts, to destroy those contracts, the cords, the patterns. It can really just do a lot, but it can also do damage. And here's where I'm going to pull into that. So when we're wanting to destroy contracts, we're wanting to burn them up, we also need to take the time to look at our contracts. Why do we have those contracts? Where did they come from? What created this contract? Where were we in this time of life? Was it a past life? Was it this lifetime? What was happening? What are the lessons that we're learning from this contract as well? Every single contract, of course, is created with potential, or not with potential, with a reason. I have a text that came up and it just said potential. They're all created for a reason. So they all have those lessons, the things that we need to learn, and the medicine that we can take from this contract. Now, not every contract is also going to be a bad thing. We create contracts that are actually positive as well. So when we're saying destroy all contracts, we're destroying contracts that were created for positive as well. So that's essentially why I'm saying you need to look at the contract before you burn it and release it. When you're working with that dragon fire energy, you're not just destroying it, you're turning it into something new. So every time I've worked with the dragon energy, I've brought that fire energy into a client's session, I'm using that as something that doesn't completely destroy, but instead creates, right? We don't always want to destroy, we want to create. We want to manifest something beautiful out of everything. No healing session should you be destroying every single thing. You should be creating, you should be healing, you should be manifesting. So when I am working with that energy, I take that contract, we look at that contract, we see what happened in that time, how that contract was created, maybe the gifts that were given during that contract, the lessons that we learned. And then I hand it over to that dragon fire energy. And what it does is it's going to burn that contract so it is no more, but then it gives it to the earth. And in doing that, it's going to create something positive as well. I really wish I knew where my phone was at this point in time so I could turn off all notifications. But I don't know where it is. So it is what it is. Now, if you think about it, a dragon breathes fire on her eggs to keep them alive, right? The egg needs that fire energy. When a forest burns down, in its wake, seeds are planted and new growth begins. It looks devastating at first. It looks horrific. It looks scary. And we don't always want the forest to burn down. That's true. But in place of that, new things do grow. Okay? Especially if you clean out the mark, you can clean up the dead branches, anything that's maybe shouldn't be staying behind. So again, if you are going to work with this June energy of destroying contracts, which I don't even know if I like the word destroying, just releasing the contracts, letting them go, cutting the cords, creating new patterns, healing the old patterns. Make sure you look at those first. Take the time to look at them. Take the time to really understand why that contract was created at that time. Okay? So you don't always just want to go in willy-nilly. And I see this a lot with spiritual, even healers. I see it when people get on their healing path, they really want to just destroy. They're like, get rid of all the contracts and all the cords and everything. But that's not doing good. That's actually doing harm. And then they end up going in this spiral of uncontrollableness, and they end up having to kind of get knocked off that horse, so to speak, and go back into the logical 3D world, so to speak, after they've learned about the ascensions and everything. And they're like, well, I have gifts and I can do this. And it's really hard to experience. It really and truly is. It's hard to experience the logical world, the 3D world, after you've experienced the 5D. It truly is. Now, as humans, of course, we live in the 3D still. We live in this world. But I see this a lot. And I've noticed a trend even on the TikToks where you will see people and they're going on this spiritual path and they're talking about shadow work and they're talking about healing. And I love shadow work. One of my favorite sessions to do is a shadow healing session with my clients. I'm creating a shadow a shadow work journal as we speak. However, I always tell people that you need to take time. You can't just go in and destroy everything and then expect yourself to be okay, because you're also kind of destroying your own DNA, so to speak. Like, you're destroying the body that has been there for you through everything, that soul, spirit, body. Those contracts might have protected you at that time. Maybe they were created to protect your energy. And you don't need that protection anymore, but it's time to release it. So always do so with love and always look at it first. Don't ever just go in and say, I destroy all contracts. Because, again, you're destroying the good ones too. Okay? Intentions are strong. And as we move into the month of June, I can see a huge heighten of energy where we're seeing things building and we're feeling our own energy building, and people are calling their power back to themselves. And there's a lot of healing happening as well. And so when we're working in this June energy, even in this Gemini energy, we're going to see a lot of changes. So spending time in meditation, allowing yourself to drop into that spiritual self. Even when you're at places like Walmart and you're over agitated. A great example was the other day, I actually had to go to Walmart and my daughter was upset and I couldn't figure out why. We were having fun, and then all of a sudden we went down this aisle and she became extremely upset. And it wasn't, she's a 3-year-old, right? So, she sees stuff and she wants it. She sees chips, she wants the chips. She sees cookies, she wants cookies. Like, she's a 3-year-old. True and true. But down this aisle was absolutely nothing that she would have liked. And she just got upset. And I kept looking at her like, oh my gosh. Like, she started throwing a tantrum. And I just sat there for a second. I was like, what changed? So I had to drop into that spiritual self. And I was like, what is going on with my daughter? Why did she all of a sudden change? And don't get me wrong, there was a point where I was like, we had to hurry to get through Walmart. And I almost handed her my phone and was like, here. But I was like, stop, step back, and let's see what's going on. At the end of the aisle, there was this lady that was staring at her, and she was staring at me also. And so as I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like in my little spiritual zone, I allowed my focus to zone out, and I came and my attention went straight to her, and she was staring at me. And I realized there was something about this lady that freaked my daughter out. There was something about this energy. And we all know that these babies, they're very, very intuitive. They're very heightened senses. And I can see that with my daughter 100%. I definitely can. And so this lady was just staring at us. And I'm sitting here going, something's not right here. Something's not right. So I turned around and we went down the aisle next to us, and she stopped. She stopped crying instantly. However, this lady followed us to the next aisle, and then she started crying. And I was like, okay. So I kind of had to sit there and put like a bubble over her, so to speak, because there was something about this lady's energy that she didn't like. Those are times where we can step into that spiritual self, when we're just out and about and we feel overwhelmed by these energies. So, a little lesson for you, okay? Okay, so let's keep going in our June energy. See what else we got for us. Ooh, I like this one. So it says, laugh with life. So often we tend to take life so seriously. In the month of June, you know what it's so funny because I was just talking to somebody. I was like, our entire life, we grow up and we go to school for the first part of our life, and then we have fun in the summertime, right? And June is in the summer. But then when we graduate and we get jobs and we no longer have that fun, like it's like it kind of starts to slip away. But what if you had fun? What if you laughed at the little things? What if you didn't take things so seriously? What if you let loose for a little bit? What if you just went with the flow? What if you laughed with your children or your spouse or your friends? What if you allowed yourself to be happy? There will be some up and down energies in the month of June. But there's a perfect opportunity for you to remember how to laugh, how to allow yourself to laugh, to love, to just feel that beautiful, wonderful energy that is June. June has that like gearing up energy. It's also the halfway point of the year. So it's a wonderful time for you to look back at some of your goals and see what's changed and what's still there, what you need to work on. What maybe just needs to completely be wiped off the table and start over. That's fine. Actually, I have 2 goals that are no longer. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Woo! Lip! There's going to be a point, and not for everyone. So again, this is where you're taking what resonates and leaving what does not. There's going to be a point where you are going to feel like you need to take the leap of faith. And you're going to have to trust fully in the universe. And that point, that time is going to come in. It's almost like you're going to hear that whisper, like, it's time. It's time. I almost see somebody sitting up in their bed like, oh my God, it's time, right? But you might even be at work where you're sitting there and you're just sitting maybe at your desk, and I can see somebody rolling their eyes as they're listening to their boss going, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't want to do this. Why am I listening to this person that doesn't even care about me? And that's going to be that moment where you make that split decision that says, I'm done. And you either go apply for another job, you leave your job completely, or you take that chance and you open up that business. Or you might leave that relationship because you're like, it's no longer serving me. I've done this. I've tried this. I've seen this tree before. We've walked around this same circle a million times, and I'm tired of this tree. I love this tree. It's done some good. It's given me shade, but it's time for me to go to a different tree, right? It's time for me to walk off this path in a different direction. So there's going to be a point where you're going to get that little nudge of, it's time to take a leap. And you're going to have to fully trust in the universe like you've never trusted in the universe before. But I'm telling you right now, if you do that, by the time December comes, you're going to be so grateful that you did it. You're going to be so happy and glad that you trusted in yourself and you took that leap. You listened to your intuition and you took that leap of faith. It's going to come. And it's just going to be like, it's going to be like the time where I decided that it was time to open up my business, and I was like, let's do it. No. Let's do it. Ooh, okay. Nope, just kidding. I love when my cards get excited because they're like, woohoo, we're doing your reading. Woohoo. These ones are the most sociable, by the way. They're the Wild Woman Rising deck that I got in Sedona. And they were one of the most sociable cards I've ever met in my entire life. Like, I have decks that love to be in certain readings with certain people, like they like certain energies. This one, they will go with anybody. They're like, yes, just please use me. They love it. They love being used. No, we don't all like, but you know what I mean. Woo! Believe in the impossible. So this really and truly goes along with both of these cards, right? So you're taking that leap, you're believing in the impossible. So even if you didn't take that leap, even if that part didn't resonate with you, believe in the impossible. We can manifest from nothing. Think about this. Everything that we have was created from nothing, right? It was created from dust. It was created from the trees. It was created from absolutely nothing was here before us, right? Look at the town around you. There used to be nothing there. Nothing. And then one day somebody said, I'm going to build something. and then somebody else built something, and then somebody else built something. So you have to believe in the impossible. Think of all the businesses that were built from the impossible. One of my favorite, and I'm not usually a label person, but Kate Spade is like one of my favorites. And I don't know why I always go like in that direction of I like that. But if you think about it, and I don't know her full story, but what I'm like picking up, the energy I'm picking up, and I kind of feel like I want to go look at her full story. But the energy I'm picking up is somebody that just kept believing in themselves and kept going for it, even though people told them, no, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. Because it's not a label that a lot of people have. But it is, to me, it's a gentle, it's a softer, it's more feminine. It's beauty, right? I think I have maybe like 3 Kate Spade things that I've absolutely loved. And one is a purse, one is an iPad holder, and then another one is like a wallet. Okay. So all of these items give this feminine energy to me, of this person that believed in themselves so much that they didn't stop and they kept going, right? This is where that believe in the impossible comes from. What are you wanting to manifest this month? What are you wanting to create? What do you want to build? Believe in it. Nothing is going to happen if you don't believe in it. If you do not believe in it. I know people who have built businesses from nothing. They had no money, they had no resources, they had no help, and they have thriving businesses. One of my clients owns like a 7-figure business. It's absolutely amazing what she has done with this business, and she has built it into something that is extraordinary, and she's opened up multiple locations, right? But she didn't have help. She had people that told her she couldn't do it. She had people that said, no, I can't do this. No, you can't do this. You will fail. And she said, watch me. Watch her, okay? She's got like multiple locations for her store. She's doing amazing. So again, she believed in herself, right? So this month, there's going to be times where you will be tested. There will be times where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. The more and more you believe in yourself, the more and more these things are going to come. They're going to happen. You can believe in the impossible, and it will happen. It comes from you believing. This right up here, this brain up here needs to believe all the way to the heart and all the way down through the root into the very soul, into the roots that you plant into the earth. You have to fully believe. And the universe will say, here you go. Here you go. Again, there's nothing too big. Nothing too big. And it's not oversaturated. There's not so many people doing it. I do things that are different than the next person. The next person does things that are different than me. We don't all do the same things. We don't all see the same way, and we don't all heal in the same way as well. All right? So whatever it is you're wanting to do, it's not oversaturated. Go for it. Believe in yourself. Believe. 100% believe. All right? I'm telling you, June, she's packing that energy. She says, come on, let's go. Let's go. I got you, boo. Let's go. So let's go. I got you, boo. I love that. I got you, boo. I see some like new energies coming into, like for some of you guys, you're going to make new friends, and these friends are going to be super helpful. Hi guys, on your spiritual journey, as well as you're manifesting. These are going to be the people that you've been waiting for, like your soul family, so to speak. It's like, it's almost as if they're just coming in, and you're just wrap your arms around them, and you're like, I've been waiting for you, and I missed you. I missed you so much. Go do something crazy. Go do something crazy, all right? Do something that just lights a fire within you and gets you excited to do it. Whether it's traveling, whether it's just go to the beach, go start a new business, whatever it is, go do it. Go do something that gets you so excited. Trust me. Engage compassion. Okay, so I like the fact that usually this deck isn't upside down, but for some reason I was shuffling upside down, so it came out upside down. We have forgotten about the things that we are most compassionate about. We have focused so much of our attention on the things that are going on outside of us that we forget about compassion. It's really, really interesting because I recently just did one of my videos for the Advanced Shaman, and a part of it was give to the community, right? Compassion for the community. What you send out comes back. It's like a like a signal, right? Woo, 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 woo. Well, it's going to come back and find you. So find that compassion. Take a moment. Let's say you're driving down the road and you see somebody and they're wearing something crazy and you want to say something and you want to think something. Change it up for a second. Go, wow, that person really gets to just live their life. They don't care. They're just out here living. They're wearing what they love. They're being themselves. And that is inspiring of itself. And I love that. I love that, right? And send them love. We have no enemies. Even the people that have done us wrong are not our enemies. We send them love. We love them for the lessons that they gave us. We don't have to have them in our life, but we still have to have compassion for them. So engage compassion. Think of all the little things around us. We have animals constantly surrounding us. I currently live in a place that has a beautiful tree behind me. And right now, as I'm looking out, I see birds. I've seen a hawk in that tree as well. I see lizards all the time, geckos, all sorts of no, not geckos. It was a bearded dragon. That's right. All sorts of beautiful animals in this tree. This tree is always alive with stuff, and I love it. It's a very old tree, you can tell. And then behind that tree, I've seen coyotes before, because, hello, I'm in the desert. But I've also seen deer. I've seen antelope. Have compassion for all of Mother Earth's creatures, all of her children. The fin, the fur, the two-legged, the four-legged. Have the winged. Have compassion for everyone, because that compassion comes back to you. And at some point, it'll be like a ripple effect. You start the 75-day hard or soft. I call it hard/soft because there's days where, you just need to take me time, and maybe you just want to go do some yoga or something soft. You need to have a soft day, and that's fine. And you can't beat yourself up for that, right? So, but in this time, you get off of the TikTok, you stop scrolling through the social media, you stop listening to the negativity that's going on around you. And I'm not saying don't be aware, but I am saying detach yourself for a little bit and instead find compassion. Think about all the wonderful things that are happening also around you. Maybe there's markets, there's local vendors that you can go to. Maybe there's a food truck that you can go check out, a new restaurant, like a locally owned or new restaurant that just opened. Maybe somebody just opened up their own boutique and you can go check it out, right? There's always something beautiful happening around us. So go check it out. Go see what's out there. Have compassion for everything and everyone. At some point, we have to stop judging. And as I picked this up, I picked up the deck, right? And this card stayed on the table. So it says, create your own paradise. You don't have to have permission to do anything. You can create your own little paradise, your own little space, right? This is my space right here. This is where I come to meditate. This is where I come to do videos. This is where I come to have readings with my clients. This is where I sit right here. Even my daughter, like, she has her own calm down corner, but she will say that's mommy's calming chair. She'll sit with me on the couch, but when I'm in this chair, she knows this is mommy's calming chair. This is where mommy comes to meditate. This is where mommy talks to her clients. She knows, right? Because they're always watching us. So create your own paradise. Create a garden of your own. Go for walks. Imagine your life, how beautiful you want it, and live it every single day, because these energies are heightening. We started June with that blue full moon, and I believe it was in Sagittarius, which it's got that fire energy, right? So use that, utilize that to the best of your abilities. Believe in that and create your own paradise. You don't have to wait for something to happen to create your own life. You don't have to wait for things to line up perfectly, because they're never going to line up perfectly. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you're waiting, it's never going to happen. But when you start living as if it's already here, then it happens. There's no end game. If you're working towards an end game, then the end game is like death, right? That's kind of sad. That was very morbid, but you know what I mean. You're not just waiting for things to happen. You're going for it instead. You're living your life as if it's already here. It's already happening. Okay? Get up every single morning. What do you like to do? Do you have a morning routine late? If you were living the life that you wanted to live, what would you be doing? What would you have surrounded by you? What would your paradise look like? And start creating it with little things. It doesn't take a lot of money, okay? Every single thing you see around here showed up over time as I created my own paradise, right? And it's not always perfect, and there's going to be days that you're like, I just don't want to go, and that's okay. Those are your soft days. Those are your days where your shaman over here is giving you total permission to walk away and go have a soft day. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. All right, let's see if we can get one more card to see what else is going to happen in the month of June. I know that we end it with Mercury retrograde. I think that's on the 29th. Mercury goes retrograde in Cancer, I believe. Don't quote me on that, because I was looking it up and I was checking out all the charts and everything that I usually go on, and I remember looking at that, but I don't want you to fear it. I want the next time Mercury retrograde comes around, I want you to look at it as a beautiful opportunity for growth, for you to really and truly go after all of the wonderful things that you want in your life. Okay, that's what I want you to look at it. So let's see, she doesn't even want to finish. She's like, no, I love this. I love this. She's so sociable. I love her. And this deck was like the most amazing deck. All right. There's a crow in this one. That's so funny. Radiate the color. Oh, radiate true color. So for a lot, the masks are going to come off and we're going to be radiating our true colors. What do your true colors look like? Don't say stuff just to try to save face. Does that make sense? Don't just be somebody that everybody wants you to be, because then you're not being yourself and you're not living your true happiness. You're not living your true life, okay? So radiate true colors. What do your colors look like? Be true to yourself. Be true to your path. Be true to the person you have. This month is really and truly a month of just being true to yourself. It is. In every way that has been created through Pride, through the Gemini twins, through the energies that come with this month. It's about a month. It's a month about really and truly being yourself and being true to who you are, and not faking things and not hiding behind closed doors or masks or any of that stuff. just truly being yourself, okay? So this month, I want you to sit down and I want you to look at areas where you're not being true to yourself, where you're hiding yourself, where you're dimming your light, where you're not maybe standing up for yourself, where maybe you need to speak your truth, or you need to take your mask off, or you're like, hey, I'm done. I'm done. And I want you to go for it. I want you to show your true colors. Because as long as you're doing it with love and you're doing it in a nice way, then it is the beauty way. Then it is part of your destiny. And you will have the universe to back you on that one. Okay? So, we've got some things happening this month. We've got some powerful energies. We've got some beautiful energies. We've got some positive energies. We've got some fire energy. Where you see some masks falling off. So remember, when you're looking at those contracts, when you're saying, I want to destroy those contracts, look at them first. What was their purpose? Why are they there? And remember, not all contracts are bad. We have good contracts too. Okay? Okay. So, without further ado, I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing June. And all of your wonderful wishes come true. Everything that you want to manifest comes true. I really and truly do hope so. And I am so grateful for all the love and support that I have received, especially in the last couple months as I finish my bachelor's, because I know I've had clients that have been wanting to schedule sessions with me and they've just been kind of patiently waiting, but my books are open. So if you're wanting to schedule your healing session, I will leave the links down below for you guys. Look for the June reading special as well. So every month I try to do like where I pull so many cards and it has to do with that energy. I haven't quite gotten the download for that yet, but I feel like it's coming. So look for that, okay? And look for my next video because I just missed you guys so much. All right. And without further ado, I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.